What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. My name is Scott Geirman. This is DodgerHeads presented by DodgerBlue.com. I'm joined by my good buddy, Blake Williams, managing editor of Dodger Blue. How we doing, man?
Pretty good. We got early baseball today and then the NFL draft tonight and Drake May or bust for me and my Patriots. So
Drake Mayer
looking
Bus. I
forward
was
to
just
it.
going to say happy draft day. It's a big day. So we get an exciting one Thursday, April 25th, man. Dodgers just playing well recently. We can kind of ride that. But second round pick, let me hear it real fast. We got Drake May. Give me one more. Ideal.
Uh,
Position group
Offensive
is fine.
lineman or wide receiver, fine with
All right.
either. So just depends how the board falls.
Absolutely. So, people have a lot of stuff to look out for today. But this morning, this afternoon, whenever people watch this, we're really going to be diving into Andy Pages and what's his reign so far and what he's kind of done to really separate himself and be kind of make a difficult decision for the Dodgers, which he's really needed to do. We've hoped here, at Dodger Blue, that he's going to provide them with enough that, when Jason Hayward comes back, Andy Pages playing against both sides and what Dave Roberts said is playing every day as much as possible can really give them a difficult thing about, do they send him down? Do they keep him up? Have you really seen enough from Andy Pages so far that says he's kind of not earning it because it's still super early on, but is he trending in that direction for you?
I would say he has a 150 weighted runs created plus right now with a nearly 600 slugging percentage. He's been kind of everything they hope for and more. I do think it's funny he hasn't drawn a walk yet. He's got a 0% walk rate. So that's kind
Yeah.
of the next step in his game. He's got to maybe hone it a little and start taking some walks. But at the same time, if you're going to be slugging like he has been so far, there's nothing totally wrong with that. He's been producing. He's provided a spark at the bottom of the lineup. And you see when Gavin Lux and Andy Pages are hitting and even James Outman thrown into that group, the Dodgers are winning. They're playing very well when you're getting contributions from the bottom of your lineup. So Pages has been very impressive. I think he's kind of here to stay. And that's not even mentioning his defense, which has been great. His arm out there in the outfield has been holding runners, throwing guys out. He's been the total package kind of from what you want to see from a young player coming up, and it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 for 5 on Wednesday on the season so far. 2 homers, 3 doubles, 4 RBI, 8 runs scored. He's still dealing with strikeouts, just like you said. Walks, which is something he did in the minors. He was walking quite a bit. So, area of his game, he'll figure it out. I think at some points, he's been, like a lot of that bottom of the order, the victim of a tough strike zone. Some stuff out there and getting behind in the counts, and then you really start to just try to find a barrel, which he has. He's got a 16.7% barrel rate, 545 expected slug, 365 xwOBA. So Andy Paz is doing all the things when bats on ball. He's been terrific. And he's not just going pull side, which we've seen some of these guys get pull side. He's going for pull side, single, double, homer. He's doing it all, spray chart. Is that something you really like to see from your rookies coming up, the ability to go to all fields, or you just don't care as long as the contact's loud?
A little of both, I think. It's always nice when you see guys going opposite field and everything, but you tend to get more power for your pull side. So if he was coming up and pull happy, I wouldn't be necessarily mad about that or anything, but it is a good skill to have to be able to go to all fields there. But as long as he keeps making hard contact, I think that's kind of always been his calling card. That's what everyone expected from him. I'm going to be happy with that. And so far he's been able to do that. And he's been really fun to watch so far offensively when he is making contact.
Yeah, he's shown pretty even splits so far, which I'm really excited about. If he qualified, he'd be on the radar of a lot of people around Major League Baseball in terms of barrel rate and at bat quality and results, which is something that the Dodgers we're hoping just so they can provide some stability out there. Problem going into the year was worrying about having too many platoons. Is Chris Taylor going to come back and kind of gain a foothold in left field in somewhere? Is James Outman going to have someone kind of play alongside him? I know you're really still on the platoon train for James Outman, but it's good to see some of these young hitters really trend in the right direction as far as outcome quality. Something Gavin Lux showed yesterday, a couple hits, but he hasn't found barrels. He's really not finding that. And it's good to see Andy Pages come up here. Look kind of overwhelmed immediate, aside from his opposite field hit. he's looked kind of overwhelmed up there. People are wondering that, is he going to find a barrel? Is he going to do something? But he's shown it right now. So I'm really excited for him. I hope, like my hope personally, is that he's able to continue playing every day, give him the same treatment they gave Miguel Vargas. Unfortunately, they didn't do that with Michael Busch. Keep him around because the Dodgers need that stability there. If you're not going to find it with some of your veteran guys, then you definitely need, a 23-year-old outfielder coming off a major shoulder surgery, really commanding a spot. So it's exciting. But we're going to shift gears, go to Yoshinobu Yamamoto tonight against the Washington Nationals. This is a matchup against Mackenzie Gore that I'm looking forward to, just because some high strikeout guys. This is big strikeout stuff on both sides. Dodgers against a lefty. We shiver, we shudder, we clench our fist. We've seen the most mediocre of left-handers dominate the Dodgers, Blake. Now, do you have the same type of thing against tonight against the Mackenzie Gore, who the Padres just handed away? What are you expecting?
Yeah, that's a good question. It seems like the Dodgers always have their problems with lefties, but they are swinging hot bats right now. Yep. So let's say like 4 innings, 4 runs for Mackenzie Gore. I'm going to be a little optimistic with the Dodgers lineup tonight.
So in his last 10 2/3, he struck out 17 batters. But the 11K game was against Oakland and against Philadelphia, and is just his most recent game was against Houston. He went 4, allowed 7 hits, 3 earned runs, and Houston's been swinging hot bats for everything their pitching does not have. At least they go up, they have, pretty still potent lineup there. Then against Oakland, right before that, he had 11 strikeouts. So that's his last 9. Sorry about that. But I'm definitely curious because Patrick Corbin kind of stymied them for quite a bit, which is unfortunate because it seems like everyone touches Patrick Corbin up at the moment. But shout out to him for kind of doing some work and humbling Dodger fans every now and then that, yeah, even though the lineup's potent, they're still going to be going up there having a tough time against even the most mid of lefties. So I'm optimistic tonight against Mackenzie Gore for the reason that you said, that you're just coming in swinging hot bats. But from Yamamoto, are you looking to see more length out of him? Are you getting enough? Because are we building up? Like, is he just still building that up? And it's just the strikeout rate is unbelievable. Walk rate is, awesome. So I think we're seeing enough. It's just his fastball is getting hit so hard and he's not elevating it at all. And he's mirroring it so much with his splitter and his curveball that it's staying so, just right in the heart of the plate. If you look at his heat map, it's all center cut. What have you specifically seen from him to this point?
Yeah, the fastball has definitely been his issue with his pitches. Like, everything else grades out pretty elite, but his fastball is definitely a bit below league average there, and it's kind of giving him some problems. Most of his troubles, when he runs into jams or gives up runs, it's coming from the fastball. So I think they kind of need to be better locating that so far because, like you mentioned, they haven't been. And he doesn't really have the velocity to blow it by guys consistently. Like, he can touch up to 97, but like major league hitters are going to be on that if it's right down the middle pretty much always. So you need to see him control that more, maybe start using the sinker a little more and mixing in different pitches. I think that's kind of the next step for him, and that'll help him be more efficient, get deeper into games, which is also what you want to see from him. Like you mentioned, he hasn't really went deep into too many games so far. I think 6 innings was his longest so far. So you kind of want to see that next build up there. But other than that, the underlying numbers kind of paint him into elite categories there with his strikeout rate, his walk rate. Like, you just want to see him take that next step of being more efficient and kind of not letting those jams turn into runs or anything like that, because his ERA is still suffering a little bit there. But I think that's also partly due to that Korea game where we can kind of write that one off, I feel like, at this point. Like, yeah. So he's been very good, but you just want to see him take that next step now.
Yeah, absolutely. You're spot on with this fastball. It's everything else grades out incredible. His curveball, splitter, he's getting a ton of whiff on that. He's getting a ton of put away on that, which is something that you really like to see, which just shows that tunneling, everybody. So it just shows that he's getting himself into these counts, but it's when he has to get back into counts or he early on in counts when he's throwing that fastball. It's all center cut. So if we start to see him elevate and he can still have that tunnel, he can still have that ability to mirror his pitches really well. he won't be giving up such like, you know, a 710 slug on that four seam fastball, which is eye popping. It's horrific at the moment, but everything else, like Blake said, grades out elite. So we're talking one small fix here, and we're going to see Yoshinobu really take another step. He's essentially just like a, you know, a 3-pitch guy right now. He's mixing in his cutter a little bit. We saw him do that at the back end of his most recent start. Like it's not that he dropped the four seamer, but he really just elevated the usage there towards the back half of that start, which is something we might see a little bit more. Try to miss barrels that way, which smart. Let's do it. He hasn't thrown any sliders. I think one in the year, which I saw through Savant. But 90th percentile K rate. He's not walking guys, which is terrific. 85th percentile whiff rate. Stuff you'd like to see out of, you know, we're not going to say ace yet until he does that. And then we'll just slap that on there. I'll have you drop a banner and just say Yoshinobu Yamamoto ace. Like that's the next thing hopefully we're going to hit. But until he's not in the, you know, first percentile of barrel rate, then we can kind of hold off on that so far. So let me get a solid expectation just for tonight's start.
I think he's going to impress tonight and kind of take a bit more of that step forward. I'm saying he's going to pitch into the 7th inning. Not saying he's finishing it or anything, but he's going into the 7th inning and he's lying 1 run with 9 strikeouts and no walks.
I love it. Yeah, I'm looking for them to really pitch not around CJ Abrams, but CJ Abrams has been so good against four seamers this year. He's the one guy right at the top of their lineup. You know, same thing with Ruiz, who you mentioned that, you know, earlier just got activated, who have punished fastballs. So try to avoid those counts to Abrams. And if you do, make sure it's in a spot, make it competitive and not in the heart of the dish, and really be able to separate yourself, Yamamoto, with your splitter, with your curveball, and show that off and get yourself into spots where it's not going to be able to do damage. So same thing with you. I'm expecting a really solid start tonight. I'm hoping that the offense provides him with enough against Mackenzie Gore to not make it so, you know, it's all the emphasis on, you know, the offense or on Yamamoto, sorry, to really lock it down and hold it down. Just have a nice commanding win today. Just make it to the point where Yamamoto is able to go out and pitch with a comfortable lead. Let's get some run support for Yoshinobu today. So that's all we got. It's a light day. It's a draft day. Andy Pa has propaganda. I hope that he gets to a point where he's able to feel comfortable up here and know that he can, you know, if he wants it, he can have everyday starts because he's showing a lot. There's just some parts of his game that he's a rookie. He has to, you know, get that comfortability in the batter's box. Yamamoto, let's have a good start tonight. So thanks everybody for joining. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. I'm Scott Geirman, staff writer, Dodger Blue. Blake Williams, managing editor. Appreciate you, buddy. Everybody have a great day. Thank you.